What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James. And I just wanted to talk a little bit today because I feel like I've been very inconsistent with videos and such. And just kind of want to go over with myself where I am. And if you care to listen, here you are. I don't know, would you call this a midlife crisis? I wouldn't necessarily call it a crisis. I call it midlife because I always looked at life as like 0 through 50 is my first half. 50 plus will be the second half. I'm in the second half. I'm not 54 years old. I'm 4 years old into my second half, right? But actually everything is like it's almost like a perfect, not a perfect storm, but just like a tip, a mountaintop, a peak. And where does that second half go from here? Because I've been feeling like very in this just relaxed mental state. And just relaxed, period. A lot has to do with being able, like the business got a lot easier. The hardest part of the business got easier, along with all the other variables. Taking care of Pee-wee's gotten easier. And so who is James 2025 as opposed to the rest of his life? And James 2025 right now is just a blank slate. I have on the list Courtney and Pee-wee's caretaker. I have taken care of the people around me, family and friends, right? That's all James is right now in 2025. I guess you could throw in there, business owner. Yeah, I'll throw that in there. So what am I beyond that? And what was I before, and what am I getting rid of? Because I think I'm at this point where it's time just to maybe not bury, but just put everything else on the shelf. Like, it don't matter anymore. From my upbringing, from starting to starting the business, just everything on the first half of my life has been a battle in some way, some form. Whether that's where I was born and raised, to trying to figure life out, to actually building a business. Like, my entire life has been some sort of work, some sort of struggle, some sort of just intense energy. And all that's in the past. None of that is, everything I've experienced has molded me to who I am today, but it don't define me today. So what am I putting away? Where I grew up, how I grew up, right? When it comes to blood family, my mom, dad, and brother passed away. Put that on the shelf. All that was a big part of my first 50 years, from, being raised to taking care of my dad. All that was a huge part of that first 50 years, which doesn't exist today. So who is James 2025? And I like the fact that I can't really answer that. Because I'm kind of looking at it like I said, like everything in the past doesn't matter anymore. It's on a shelf. It don't matter. It's just a white list with only 3 things jotted on it so far for who James is in the second half of his life. What do I want that to be? I don't know. But I can say right now I am enjoying the peace. Like I said, the first half was intense. There was not a peaceful moment that I can remember in the first half. I mean, when you're young and full of energy, you go, right? Then in 20s, trying to figure out what to do with life, that's almost like a dark intense when you can't figure things out. Then 30 plus, starting the business, hope you're making the right decisions, working 20 hours a day. So James in 2025, right now, from here on out, I feel like I'm on a mental vacation, and I almost feel guilty for it. Like, I feel like this can't be, this isn't right. This don't feel right. And that's just because what I've been accustomed to my entire life. So I'm trying to, like I said, put all that on the shelf. None of that matters. If James was born today and, at 50, and he's 54 now, what is he going to morph into this second half of his life? I guess you could kind of look at it like when you're really a child, there's a lot of like kids bring over some of their past life, or, how they can recall some memories that may have come from another life or something. You see stories about that kind of stuff all the time. It always makes me wonder. But is that what kind of shapes them into being who they are? Because you could get, a savant in a family of dumbasses. You know what I mean? Like there's so much more than just genetics, it seemed like, that molds a person in their life. So what if we took that first 50 years of my life, and that's what molded me, who I grow into from here on out? Instead of just playing the same old song, walking the same old path. And I think a lot of times, a lot of people maybe even cause their own chaos. And I don't want to be that person. Like, I've been used to, struggle or whatever, or I don't really want to use the word struggle, but just an intense first 50 years. Like, I don't want to create intensity just because I'm used to it. Does that make sense? Like, I want to be able to adapt. I don't know if is adapt. I guess adapt could be a good word. Or just let the current situation mold me into what I am today. What am I today? What do I want to be for the remainder of my life? Do I still want to be the person who talks about how he was raised, where he was born? No, I'm old. It's old. I'm done with that. I shouldn't care about that anymore, because I've done so much since then. Life has changed so dramatic since then. I mean, I'm sitting in this car. As my YouTube channel says, from poor to Porsche. Who is James today? And I don't want to find I don't want to look for the answers to that. I want the answers to find me. Like, I don't want to say, oh, James is this, and then I go do it and force something, right? So as of right now, James is just relaxed. James, for the first time, is, God, I'm talking in third person. I'm just resting and letting life come to me. So I think it's been very hard for me to like make videos and talk about the same old stuff. You know, I've said everything I've said on YouTube, and reselling and stuff. I've said it a million times. Because you do, after a while, you just constantly repeat yourself, and I'm over that. It's not that I don't want to do something in some form or some fashion. I'm just over the same old, same old. So what does reselling YouTube channel morph into, or not really morph into, but just how does it shape itself from here on out? Like, how can I present things in a fresh manner to me and in a fresh manner to the viewers, to be honest? I mean, you only get, you know, I'm sure it gets old watching the same old, hearing the same old, you know, like, how do, it don't matter how, I just got to let it come to me. It'll come to me. And it'll feel good. Do you play tribute to the past? Somehow. I don't even know if that's possible without, I don't know. I don't think that's possible, but how do you build off of it? Maybe that's a better, how do you turn that into a pedestal that you're on today? Your past is your pedestal. It's what got you to where you are, bad or good. It's what helped mold you and create you, and here you are today. Like the reason I don't really want to call this like a midlife crisis, I don't want to do anything drastic. I don't want to go buy a car or anything. Like, I don't want to turn everything upside down. But maybe that's the difference. Somebody who's always got chaos gets to this point, maybe they can't slow down, so they want, you know, even though their life is slowed down, they want to cause chaos, so they go out and buy maybe a vehicle a new Ferrari that they can't afford. You know, that in turn causes some chaos. Well, I got to work harder. I got to figure out a way to pay for this, and it turns into arguments because of the payment money. Maybe that's what the crisis part is. Maybe I'm just at the midlife part, and I'm at the crossroads of crisis and what would be the other fork? I don't know. What is the other fork? Is there another fork? These are all questions that I ask because I'm only 4 years old, so I got a lot of questions on this new half of life. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there who are older than I. There's some boomers out there who watch my channel, and obviously some older Gen X. And what do I do at age 4 years old in the second half of my life? I don't know, but I'm going to let it come to me. I'm not chasing anything anymore. I walk when I want to walk. I sleep when I want to sleep. And I sleep damn good. Unless Pee-wee gets me up. Because on the first of the list, I'm still Courtney and Pee-wee's caretaker. I'm looking for different avenues. And that don't mean necessarily content. That don't necessarily mean business. It just means mentally. I'm looking for different avenues. For different... I'm not even looking. I'm just not walking down the same old ones anymore. How about that? That's a better way of looking at it, because I'm not looking. I'm just not... I'm done walking down the same old path. Maybe that is a crisis. I don't know. Maybe when people think that the life changes and there's a disruption like I am right now, not really a disruption in a negative sense, maybe that's what a crisis is. I don't know. But I can say I'm the most content. I'm the most stress-free that I've ever been in my entire life. So how do I take advantage of that and use it as opposed to destroying it for what I've been used to for 50 years? That's where I am. So that's why, and to play playing some, that's why there's not really been many videos. I'm just enjoying my peace. I'm enjoying just standing in my office, the music playing, the dog's there, and just working. Coming outside with them, playing with them, going back in and working. I'm just enjoying the peace, the calm. I'm enjoying something I've never been able to experience in my entire life. And how does that mold me into what I will be tomorrow? Well, I don't have parents to help mold me into anything, because you are a product of your upbringing, you're a product of your surroundings when you grow up as a child, right? So how do I help mold myself into what this part of my life has to offer? And maybe I'm already molded from the first half. Maybe there's nothing to mold. It's just, how do you grow, I guess? What does the growth look like from here on out? I don't know. And right now, I don't care. Like I said, I'm just enjoying the silence. I'm enjoying the peace. I would probably have the lowest, stress numbers. What do you call them? High blood pressure stuff. Probably have the lowest ever in my life right now, because I've never felt this calm before. And then I almost get myself wrapped up back into it, going, people want a video, go make a video. And I'm like, no. So I'm going back and forth with myself on it. And so I've been fighting myself, because I feel like that's trying to pull me back into that. And like I said, it's not that I don't want to, I just want to do different. I'm tired of the same old. I'm tired of the first half. It's time for something fresh. And I'm just going to let that come to me as it does. So that's where I'm at. So whenever you see a video pop up, it's just me being obviously who I am. But I do feel like some of the videos I made lately have been kind of forced. So I'm not enjoying that, because like I said, I feel calm and relaxed. And sometimes, I have to make myself talk about a topic. I'm not in that headspace right this second. wait till I'm in that headspace and then talk. So that's where I am. I don't know. Anyway, enough about me and my narcissistic ways. No, I'm just going through this stuff. Just, I don't know, trying to analyze myself and make sure I can take full advantage of whatever this feeling is, because I've never felt it before. So, thanks everybody. I'll see you all in the next video. Later.